Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 1987 Supermod. I'm your host, as always, Brad Drake. And tonight, we are in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, at the CKND studios, and we are recording Major League Wrestling. We'll be recording 2 episodes, one for this week and one for next week. For those of you that didn't see, go back a couple shows ago, and I will show you how we introduced Major League Wrestling into our television series. So, the CKND Studios, it only seats 300, is booked for tonight. And let's go ahead and look at the regular page here and see backstage incidents. Uh-oh, Manny Fernandez is in some trouble. We're going to give him a stern warning this time. What did Vivian St. John do? She showed up late for a meeting. We're going to find her. I don't understand why all of a sudden we're having a problem here. Our backstage locker room balance must be off. Now we have some protege work going. All right, let's see who's absent. Saito's working for All Japan, which hurts us because he was our main event here. So we are going to plug in Larry Zbyszko instead of Mr. Saito. And Larry Zbyszko is going to do this promo on his own. And we're going to take Larry Zbyszko out of next week. And we're going to change it over with Ray Stevens. Why not? So there we go. We've punched Ray Stevens there instead. So here's our card. We're going to feature Tommy Jammer, the Top Guns, Wayne Bloom, Greg Gagne, Colonel DeBeers, Jimmy Snuka, the Midnight Express, and Nick Bockwinkel. And then for next week's tapings, we are going to feature Derrick Dukes, the Texas Hangmen, the Terrorists, Tom Zenk, the Iron Sheik, Bob Backlund, Ray Stevens, and the Midnight Rockers. All right, let's go ahead and let's get to booking. So in our opener, we are going to have Art Washington versus Tommy Jammer. And this is exciting stuff to be doing another television show. By rights, the game has it set up where we can't, but we fooled them, didn't we? All right, this match right here should be abysmal, but we're getting some work in for Tommy Jammer and getting him a win across Canada on television. Budokan and Mike Starr versus the Top Guns. And of course, we've talked about Budokan plenty of times, the great R&B singer. And there's Mike Starr. Then we're going to switch over to tag team view. There's our Top Guns. And we're going to go ahead and get Ricky Rice the win on TV. The Top Guns are getting some major exposure here in Canada. Remember, CKND is a superstation, and this is being broadcast across Canada. It made some changes. It's going to broadcast on Saturday night, prime time. Here we go, Young versus Bloom. The WWF, of course, has a stranglehold on Canada at this point, but at least now we're being competitive with them. Sort of. Here's another one that'll probably get a very poor score. Wayne Bloom versus Mark Young. There will be no breakdancing for you tonight, Mark Young. You are going to take the loss and make Wayne Bloom look good. Dennis Stamp is going to face Greg Gagne here for the World Television title. And Greg Gagne is going to make short work of Dennis Stamp. There we go. Greg gets the win here. This Major League Wrestling thing was a pretty cool thing. As I said before in the creation video, the WWF and other promotions dealt with the same thing when dealing with Canada. As a matter of fact, the WWF formed a whole... I screwed that up. It's not Van Vorn, it's Van Horne. The WWF actually formed a whole separate company called WWF Canada to deal with this issue, and the wrestlers were actually paid in Canadian dollars from a Canadian bank, and it was very difficult to do business in Canada. You had to be a Canadian company, and you had to, or do your stuff strictly in Canada. So in our case, in the case of the AWA, they wanted television in Canada, so they had to film it in Canada. Now, just a heads up for you, I did reach out to Gene Konitsky to try to bring him as a commentator to give it more of a Canadian buzz. Obviously, he didn't sign in time here, so we'll get him eventually and we'll put him in there. So we're going to have Larry Zbyszko cutting a promo here, and he's going to go 5 minutes. He's going to cut his promo on Nick Bockwinkel, who he's going to meet in the main event here. And we're going to have Larry Nelson do the interviewing, and then Nick Bockwinkel. So there's Zbyszko. We're going to rate him on microphone, and Nick Bockwinkel is going to be off screen. So that one's booked. Next we have Petruzzi versus Jimmy Snuka. And this might be one of Snuka's last matches. I know I said that for yesterday's show, but I forgot that I had him on here for Major League Wrestling. There's Petruzzi. And Snuka gets the win, of course. The Midnight Express are going to cut a promo. And this one's just going to be 3 minutes. There's Paul E. Dangerously. I got to adjust that. And there is Randy Rose, Dennis Condrey. Of course, they're being hosted here by Larry Nelson. And Paulie Dangerously is going to be microphone. Randy Rose is going to stay non-rated. And Dennis Condrey is going to be rated on selling. So all 4 men are on screen. Only 2 men are doing any kind of work here. All right, that one's booked up. Let's see who we have facing. Jimmy Magnum and Al Ringo versus the Midnight Express. And that's another 3-minute bout here. There's El Ringo. There's Jimmy Magnum. And there's the Midnight Express. We're going to have Randy Rose get the win here on TV. And I'm curious to see how low scoring this card's going to be overall, because our wrestlers have gotten some exposure in Canada, but not a whole lot. And we're going to have Nick Bockwinkel here cut a promo on Larry Zbyszko. And there's Nick Bockwinkel. There is Larry Nelson. There's Larry Zbyszko. Bockwinkel's going to be based on microphone. Not rated, not rated. Zbyszko's off screen. All right, we're ready. And here's our main event, of course. Zbyszko versus Bockwinkel. It's a huge main event. 14 minutes. Huge main event, but a nice way to kick off Major League Wrestling for us. There's Nick Bockwinkel. And let's have Nick Bockwinkel go over by DQ. So there we go. We are ready to run. We're at the limit of 65 minutes here. And let's give it a go. Let's see how it goes. Ooh, we open up with a 14. But Tommy Jammer actually gets a win. This might be his first win in the AWA. Red Text of Doom, of course. More Red Text of Doom of 13. Oh boy. We could be in some trouble here. Hopefully we don't lose popularity. Oh. Oh. Third Red Text of Doom here. 14. Wayne Bloom gets the win. And Greg Gagne saves us with a 61 here. He makes another defense. The World Television title. These two actually had a decent match here. And DeBeers gets a 41 against Van Horne. 83. Nice. Nice. That's good. So Zbyszko's got some popularity up here in Canada. Very well done. 83. We needed that. 57 for Snuka. That's a little disappointing. 55. That's about typical for us with the Midnight Express, especially we're in Canada here. 46. Some red text to do here. And Ringo continues. He continues his streak of not getting along with partners. Or not having good chemistry with partners. That's like the fifth guy that Ringo doesn't have good chemistry with. All right. Only a 71 for Bockwinkel? Come on. Canada or no Canada, that guy could cut a promo. Calling bullshit on that one, TEW. All right, our main event should do well here. 79 overall. That's a little disappointing, 79 and 85. But I hope that this still gives us a boost in Canada. And we lose popularity in one region. Oh, man. This might not have been a good idea, folks. I don't know. This wasn't especially weak card, though. All right, let's go ahead and let's start booking our next show here for next week. We'll change this over so I don't book the wrong thing. You can't do anything but laugh. It's all a learning experience. Trying to do something smart and I'm hurting us in Canada. All right, Anderson versus Dukes here. And Dukes actually spent some time in Canada. I don't know if I reflected that, of course, in the popularity. I probably did not. So here's Billy Anderson and Derrick Dukes. We got ourselves a squash match here. Squash match. Derrick Dukes is going to get the win. Coming along next, Becker and Butler versus the Texas Hangmen. And no, I did not intend to put Becker 7 there. All right, Todd Becker and Steve Butler. There's Steve Butler. There's Todd Becker. And there's our Texas Hangman. All right, we're going to give Killer the win here. And we're moving right on down the card. Renesto Jr. is going to face the Terrorist. And looking at this, folks, we could be in some trouble again here. But what are you going to do? All right, the Terrorist is going to actually get a win here. I don't think he's won on the tour yet. The Terrorist gets his win. And Jake Milliman is going to face Tom Zenk here. Got some star power showing up here. There's Jake Milliman. That's the second time I've tried calling him Milligan. And there's Tommy Zenk, who fortunately has not flaked out yet. but the clock is running. We'll see how long it takes until he does. There's Tommy Zenk in there, and next we got Keith Pullins versus the Iron Sheik. Another 3-minute bout here. There's Keith Pullins. And there is Sheiky Baby. Of course, the Iron Sheik is going to get the win with that camel clutch. And next, we got ourselves a Bob Backlund promo. We're going to give Bob Backlund 5 minutes. We're going to give Ray Stevens 6. And there is Bob Backlund. I don't know how popular he is in Canada. And here is Larry Nelson. And Bob Backlund is feuding with Dick Slater. So we'll make sure Dick Slater is mentioned. He's going to be off screen, of course. And Bob Backlund is going to be rated on... I know he's not bad with microphone. He's pretty darn good at microphone. And yeah, we're going to give it to him on microphone. And Larry Nelson's just going to be there hanging out. All right. So we've got Dave Moreau, who's from Canada, versus Bob Backlund. We just picked up Dave Moreau not too long ago to use as enhancement talent. I think he was originally with Stampede. I think he was enhancement talent with Stampede. And here's Bob Backlund. Should be getting us a nice win with that cross-face chicken wing. And next we're going to have ourselves the Ray Stevens promo. And I don't know how popular Ray Stevens is in Canada. He should be. But I didn't take that into consideration because I'm looking at this as the opportunity to build him up. So we're going to have him talk about Mr. Saito. Even though, and we can't, we're going to have him talk about Larry Zbyszko. Larry Zbyszko is going to be off screen. Ray Stevens was excellent on the microphone, but we'll see if we can't rate him on anything else. Yeah, we'll give it to him on microphone. It can't hurt. I don't know how this is going to work out. Like I said, we're gambling here doing this in Canada, but it's pretty close to being realistic, and I wanted to give it a shot. Why not, right? So there we go. Ray Stevens' promo is cut. And we have Reece versus Stevens. Frank Reece versus Stevens. And of course, we know Stevens is showing his age, but it shouldn't hurt us. Well, it will hurt us, especially in a squash match, but having Ray Stevens on there is good for us. And there's Ray Stevens. And if anybody knows if that's a wig, let me know, because it certainly looks like a wig. All right, the Midnight Rockers are going to cut a promo, and these have tended to not go well. So there is Marty Jannetty. There's Shawn Michaels. We'll plug in Larry Nelson here. And then, of course, they're feuding with Rip Oliver and Doug Summers. So Summers, almost Ricky Young instead of Rip Oliver. That happens. So Oliver and Summers are off screen. We're going to base Marty Jannetty off of star quality and Shawn Michaels off of selling. Let's see if that helps them out. This should help their feud. And this main event is a good one. So I think we should do okay here score-wise on this main event. The only knock might be that it's not long enough. But this is a good main event. Duncum and Slater versus the Midnight Rockers for the title. And auto name. Just always like to put the C for title in there. And we are going to have Sean Myri Jannetty go over clean. All right, we're ready. This is a hell of a show here. Hell of a main event. Let's see how it goes. We're going to start the show. Red text the doom all over the place. A 12. Hey, the Hangman got a 37. That's good to see. Look at that, a 51 and a 43 in Winnipeg. That's good. That means the Hangmen are doing well here in Canada. Good. 15. Ugh. That's a rough one. But the Terrorist gets a win, and that's cool. Tommy Zenk, 63 overall, against the Milkman here. Very nice. And well-executed squash. Great. Excellent. Moving right along. Sheik gets us a 60. Very nice. Scores a 71 over Keith Pullins, who is the nephew of a famous Detroit wrestler, whose name I can't recall at the moment. So we're moving right along here. Hey, Bobby Backlund gets us a 73 on the mic. Not bad at all. Bobby Backlund gets us a 70. Uses that cross-face chicken wing. Terrific. So this means Backlund is over in Manitoba. Terrific. Ray Stevens did not do as badly as I thought he would. Gets us a 68. This match only scores a 50. We're hurting here. 67, not terrible. And let's hope for a big score here to save us. 82. That's the score we're looking for. Let's see how we did overall and see if we lose another popularity point. Hey, we don't. We hold our own. Okay. Well, the television taping is done, everybody. That's our first batch for 2 weeks here for Major League Wrestling. I'm pretty proud that we made it happen. And this is cool. This is a new, cool, fresh aspect to our game. Of course, we're going to have a spot show next in Cottonwood, Arizona, on our way to Phoenix for our tour. But this was fun doing this show for the first time. So look at this. Atlantic Coast is just adding up here. And Kung Fu is kicked out. Oh, EMLL, weird stuff. I'm sorry, but that stuff they did down in Mexico, some of it is just straight up weird. All right, let's check our mail. Zhukov's got a handshake deal. Dennis Condrey is running down Tommy Jammer, and he's not too far off. And let's take a look. Scott Steiner is signing with us, and of course, we're still waiting on Simmons and Gene Knitsky. So let's make a note here. Scott Steiner contract, and we're going to look into who we're going to let go here to support Scott Steiner. Let's take a look at our roster real quick. One of these is actually easier to look on the tour. One of our baby faces are going to go here, and I think it's going to be Russ Francis. I think Russ Francis is going to be down the road. Alan West is doing pretty well for us here. I don't see any reason to let him go. So as far as baby faces go, I think Russ Francis is gonna go. So we'll see how it goes. So all right, everybody, thanks for tuning in. This was fun. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. We'll learn. Next time we'll get better. We'll do better on the television show. So thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Facebook.com/group/1987. Join us in conversation about the 1987 Supermod. Go to braddrake.net. Drop me a line if you don't have the Supermod already, and I'll be more than happy to send you the link for version 7.0. That'll lead you to the picture pack and the database. Last but not least, make sure you hit that subscribe button, give us a like, and share this video with your friends.